What up? What up? Welcome back to the A Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ameer Hamid. Joining us today will be Brant.
Hey, it's just me. That's it.
Did you like how I switched up the intro there?
Yeah, you woke me up a little bit.
I know.
Wasn't really paying attention.
Well, I mean, before we recorded the last show, you kind of called me out. Not really called me out, but like everyone had down like the opening. So I was like, you know what?
Hello and welcome back to the A Sports Podcast.
Yeah. I had to switch it up for Moro's sake. You know, how are you, bud?
Hey, how are you? We don't have it this week.
How are you? Yeah. Moro should be back Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. Busy working, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So one of us has a job, and I mean,
it's not me.
Well, I don't know what he's thinking.
All right. Now we have all four major sports going on right now. They call it the sports equinox or something like to that. I'm like, we need a better name than that. But yeah, the NBA season kicked off last night. It was a great night for me as a Raptors fan, you as a,
as a sports fan,
as a fan. Yeah, exactly.
This may be a hot take.
Okay.
Our banner raising's kind of overrated. I don't like them. I think they're stupid.
See, the reason
I think I'm in the minority though.
Yeah, I think no, just because I think for the fan base, it's just something totally different and nice, like just to see. I really like in between. I like the way the Blues did their whole ring ceremony this year. Like they did it separately. It wasn't before a game. They did this little gala thing. They all got their rings. It was cool. Boring. And then, but it was like right back to business. Like get into the season. Don't worry about the fucking last year. We're moving on. We're not going to relive this. Like, let's go win another one. I kind of like that. Like as much as the fans don't get to take part, it's like you still kind of see the whole ceremony, and it's just. I think that's boring. I think that's like such a hockey way of doing it.
Yeah, but it's also doesn't take away from like you're going to this game and you got to sit around for an hour and wait, especially if you're like either team, like you're sitting there like, okay, we got to play. And
I don't think that the Raptors had any problem with waiting. Like,
no, I'm sure they didn't, but like, I'm sure the Pelicans are like, all right, like, is this over yet? Like,
yeah, but it's not their problem. Win the title.
Like, I know. I find it boring personally. I'm like, I don't really care. Yeah, you raised a banner. I'm going to look at the thing every time I go to the building. I'm like, I don't need to see it get raised up into the rafters.
It was already up.
They dropped down to whatever. Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking banner.
It's nice. I like it.
Really nice. I like it with the players' names on the sides. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I don't know. I disagree. Like, I just think that.
I figured you would. I think most people would disagree with me. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it kind of a waste of time.
You're also not a big fan of basketball.
Well, even if this is the Leafs, I don't think I'd be like, yeah, let's raise a banner.
Oh, fuck. I want to raise that sucker up there.
I mean, I'd like to see it up there, but like, I don't need to take the time out of the game to be like, all right, let's go watch this banner raising ceremony. I'm like, I don't really care. Like, it's great.
I mean, the game started at 8:00. Like it was supposed to start at 8:00 because it bakes in the fact that like at 7 that it's like pregame, and then 7:30 they're doing the the banner raising and the ring ceremony. Like the rings part.
Rings is dumb.
Like no. I like handing out to the players and stuff in front of the crowd. Like I just think that's awesome. I don't need like all of management and stuff like that. Like a select few, sure. I don't need everyone. Masai, Bobby Webster, and like the people that you see on the bench, sure. But like behind the scenes stuff, so I don't really need that.
No. I like that they gave one to Nav. That's cool.
Yeah. They gave one to a lot of people. See, the thing is, a conversation I was having with my parents was like, does Nav have to pay for that ring? Because like you could, I don't know, like he gets so much free advertising from like, the association. Yeah, exactly. Just being associated with them.
I mean, him specifically probably could, but like if you're giving them a ring, you're giving a ring because you don't have to give anybody a ring.
No, I think it's just like it's a good faith kind of gesture that you just do.
Here, man, thanks for all you've done for our organization. Which realistically, he's kind of put them on the map a little bit. Like when you think of the Raptors, he's synonymous with the team, right? Like you're like, the guy standing courtside that's been fired up for 15 years or however long it's been.
Let me pull up the list because I had said we were going to do it last time, but it was the 25 and 25, the 25 most influential Raptors in the last 25 years.
Right.
I'm not going to go through all 25, but like some of the major ones.
Yeah.
Let me try to find it really quick. Okay. Just talking about the game, like the game was
I'm surprised it was this close. Before we get to the game, we can kind of talk about Zion a little bit because that was big news even before the like we kind of it happened just as our podcast ended last week.
Yeah,
but Zion's out 6 to 8 weeks with did he tear something in his knee or is it strained?
So they said it was a meniscus injury. It's not known if it's like
a tear or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So if it's a tear, it's longer than 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh yeah, easily. But
so that was
watching. Was it The Jump? Is that a thing? That's a show, right? It's on TSN. I was watching that yesterday, and they're talking about Zion, and I want to say it was their head coach was going off. He's just like, yeah, it's not like all this talks about Zion being like out of shape. It's like this guy is in shape. He's doing this. He's doing that. It's like I don't think the argument is that Zion's out of shape. I don't think it's ever been like this guy's not an athlete, like he can't do it. I think the argument here is that Zion's a really big human being.
Exactly.
And carries a lot of weight. And it's like you're going to be up and down on that knee, like he's weighing in at 280 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a lot of weight to be like, it's not like he plays a style of game where it's like he's on the ground a lot and he's below the basket doing work. Like this guy's moving and getting up and like coming down hard. And it's like, that's 280 pounds coming down on these knees. It's like at some point it's not to say that he needs to get in shape because he's in shape. I can see that the guy's a freak athletically.
It's that it needs to be a little less of a toll on your body. And
need to be carrying a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tracy McGrady was talking about it.
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady's like, he needs to cut like at least 20, maybe 30 pounds if he wants to stay healthy for his career. Because it's a lot of weight.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Just because like, yes, your strength is so important, but it's also, it can be a deterrent because that could be your ultimate undoing. It's a blessing and a curse. I found the list. But let's okay. So just to finish up the Zion topic, it absolutely blows. It could be longer than 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. I would expect it to be like, I think at the earliest you're targeting like a Christmas return. Yeah. Honestly,
that sucks because the 8 weeks puts him out until Christmas, and like that seems so far away right now.
I know.
Like shit, this is a guy that's supposed to help the Pelicans be a playoff team, right?
Yeah. And on the other hand, like I just don't see how, if you miss 2 months, I don't see how you can win Rookie of the Year.
No. Especially if it's at least 2 months. Like,
yeah, I think John Moran of Memphis, he was the second pick in the draft. He's a really good player, and I think he's probably the favorite now. I was looking at Rookie of the Year odds, and I could have got like 5-1 odds on it before it was like as the injury happened. So I was like, shit, I should have done that, but too late. Whatever. All right, let's go back to the list. At number 25 of the 25 seasons, the 25 most important people to the Raptors was Nav.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it would just be players, but I didn't really...
No, just influential people to the Raptors. 22, Brian Colangelo.
Oh,
who drafted Andreas Bargnani.
Yeah, he did do some interesting things when he was
like the Chris Bosh era and stuff.
Yeah,
like he was basically the one in charge of that. Yeah, he drafted DeMar and JV and all them.
Yeah, we sucked, but it was fun.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, Alex McKechnie, the medical guy, medical training staff, 18. Drake, 17.
That high or that low, I guess.
Oh, so you think he should be like?
I think he'd be a little more up the list. Like,
I don't disagree, but I think like from Doug Smith's perspective, he was just like, I don't know how to quantify how much of an impact Drake has.
I mean, I think he played a big role in the Bucks series or the Sixers series where they were fucking all they could talk about was Drake this, Drake that, and I'm like, he's in your head, boys.
Yeah, that's the exact thing. It's like. He's like, it's impossible to quantify his contributions, but it is real and it matters to a segment of the society that the team needs and wants to reach. I was like, completely fair.
Yeah, he pulls in a lot of people.
Agreed.
He pulled it, not so much anymore because like, this team's good and we have a title. So you're pulling in all the
he's just a face. Like when people think of the Raptors, like it's Drake's team.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It has been for years now, right? Like that's the thing. It's like, Drake's going to be there and you're going to have fun watching him go nuts on the sidelines.
13, Dwayne Casey. Fair.
Okay. Yeah. He
changed the culture. Honestly,
he kind of gave this team the culture that it is today. Like
no doubt.
He needed to be moved out to give it a little bit of a different look. And I get that, but he's the only head coach of the year in Raptors history. Am I wrong?
Sam Mitchell.
Did he win it? Okay. Yep. Sorry. So he brought this team together and he helped them grow as a unit. It just took a different look to get it over that hump, which it's all right. I like it.
Number 11, Kawhi Leonard.
11.
Yeah.
Okay. People are trying to retire his number already, but 11. All right. Who's above him though? That's where my.
Oh shit. It's telling me, the standard, like you only have a certain amount of articles on.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Let me try to pull it up on my phone. Great. All right. Let's talk about the game in the meantime.
Okay. We'll go back to it.
Yeah. All right. So it was a tightly contested game the whole night. Mm-hmm. And I'm not that shocked about it, to be honest. Like, ring night's such a weird night. And I think last year, who was it that lost? I think Golden State lost on ring night. Like, teams lose on ring night just because, like, they play out of, which is fine. Like, I would rather lose that game than not have that moment. Like, I just think it's a special kind of thing.
I think it's a little less special for Golden State because they've done it so many times.
No, for sure.
Kind of like, all right, let's just get this game going. Who cares? Like, yay, we won another one. Here's our third ring. Here you go. It looks exactly like the other two. Yay. Like,
last year they had like a spot where the ring comes off and it has this little compartment. I'm like, oh, is that for cocaine or something? Like, what's this? What's this for?
How do you think they win, man? That's how they're storing in their ring across the border. How are you? Thanks.
It was a close game the whole night. Like, they come out slow. I think it was like 10-4. It was like a 10-point game at times. It just wasn't close. Well, they just came out and they just lacked energy. And I think a lot of guys from like the off season, they just had a tough time getting going because like the playoff run takes a lot of them. Like Marc Gasol, I didn't think looked good last night. And, he had a super long summer. Like, he goes from basically playing in the NBA finals to then going and playing over in Spain and then winning the gold medal with in the World Cup of basketball there. So, I mean, it was understandable to so start. I mean, Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam had like career games last night. Like, they were awesome. That's what I think the Fred VanVleet contract, like his next contract, is going to scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Cause like, I don't want to lose him.
No,
but
I don't
fuck, it's not going to be good.
Do you think he could be a starting point guard in this league?
I kind of do.
Yeah, I think he's starting to show it more and more. I think the playoffs last year was his coming out party. Like, look at what I can do. Like, he was huge for the Raptors. Like,
no, for sure, against the Bucks and against the Bucks and the Warriors,
knocking down threes. I'm like, this guy, when he's on, he's easily a starting point guard in this league. Like, he's not in the upper echelon by any means, but like, he's good and he can play defense even for a little guy. And
that was the thing, like, that I saw last night. It was, I could play Norm over VanVleet, but that just doesn't make sense because Fred's clearly the superior player, even though he's out of position playing the 2 guard basically.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't make sense to not start him at this point. Like, he's a better player than Norm. Yeah. Like, I think there's a possibility that they could just lose him because they don't want to sign him to as big of a ticket that he can get. Mm-hmm. Like, a team like,
you're kind of hoping to lower his value a bit.
Exactly. Like, I think Atlanta has like $90-something million in cap space.
Yeah, they could just.
But they have Trae Young. Like, do they want like an elite backup point guard behind him? I don't know. I think like 4 by like 80 is fair. Like 20 million a year, sure. Like, it's still a lot, but it's fair-ish.
Basketball money's crazy.
It's nuts. It is insane because then you're like,
we're talking about 4x20 being like, yeah, that's a fair contract when there's nobody in the NHL making 20 million.
No,
there's barely anybody making half of 20 million a year.
It's bonkers. It really is.
It's crazy.
I think basketball money is the most nutty money if we're talking about all the sports. Cause baseball, the thing is Bryce Harper signs a 13-year deal worth 300 and something million.
Yeah.
But the thing is he's an upper echelon player.
If
LeBron, LeBron, KD are able to sign those deals, they'll dwarf them.
Yeah.
It's not even close. All right. I have the list pulled up again.
Okay.
We're going to bounce back from the game and this.
Well, yes,
but number 10, the Raptor.
The Raptor. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting one.
Number 7, DeMar.
Okay.
Number 6.
Do you have 9 and 8?
Yeah.
Just do all top 10 because I want to see who finished above.
Doreen Doyle.
Okay.
She was some behind the scenes person that did a lot apparently.
Okay.
Glenn Grunwald.
Okay.
Who was I think was he the GM or something or the coach or something? I can't remember.
Okay.
That was in the inception. DeMar DeRozan 7. I think DeMar should be higher.
Yeah, DeMar was the first star that this team had wanted to be here and was liked it here.
Yeah,
Chris Bosh was what Chris Bosh was, but Chris Bosh hated it here.
Yeah, I
never a part of a winning team.
Damon Stoudemire's number 6. I think DeMar should be higher than Damon Stoudemire.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas number 5. My dad was like, as long as Damon Stoudemire's not in the list. He says this while I'm reading out the 20s to him. And then I'm like, oh, number 5, you're not going to like this. He's like, what the fuck? Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Number 4, Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
Number 3, Masai Ujiri. Number 2, Vince Carter. And number 1, Larry Tannenbaum.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
I don't agree with the order. I don't hate Larry Tannenbaum being up there, but Masai's got to be your number 1.
I think so. I will say this to the grave. If the Raptors lost him, I would rather them lose him than Kawhi because I think it's just different.
Yeah.
With him.
Yeah.
I think it's such a superior advantage having it a person like him.
He brought winning basketball to this team and he thoroughly enjoys being around here and actually wants this team to succeed. And even now he's trying to figure out a way to make them a player or a championship contender again. Right. It's not I don't know. I don't really agree with that. I don't agree with Vince over him. I love Vince. Don't get me wrong. But
I think Vince changed basketball for Canada.
Okay.
More so maybe than the Raptors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's two different things.
I don't like that. I don't like him being above Kyle. I think Kyle. I don't know. And DeMar. I don't know. DeMar's the same. I think DeMar was a part of more winning seasons.
Yeah, but I think Vince changed stuff because Vince was such a superstar level player that it was different.
DeMar got me back into basketball.
See, but the thing is with them, it's hard to see, it's hard to quantify the impact that they have so recently.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's the time factor with Vince where it's look what's happened since there's not really a since DeMar left. It's been 1 year. Since DeMar left, we won a championship.
Yeah.
One season, but.
Yeah. It's tough to see. All right, let's go back to the game. I thought Lonzo looked really good at times, but they just didn't play him. It was weird. In the second half, he barely played. He played he would play 8 minutes to start the first and third, and then they just wouldn't play him, and then they just put him in overtime. I was just like, what's going on here? His jump shot looked good. See LeVar on Tim and Sid?
No, I missed on Tim and Sid.
On Tim and Sid.
Holy shit. I didn't see that.
It was pretty good. It was just Sid making fun of himself, showing all these athletic videos. And he's like, oh, sign me to Big Baller Brand as a
it's a nice $15 contract because that's all we're.
He's like, oh, we're not talking about money here. We're talking about ownership. That's what LeVar says. It's just oh my God.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. He's someone.
He's a character. I'll give him that.
Man, I hate playing against JJ Redick. He's just terrifying.
There's a reason that man's in the playoffs every year.
Every year. And it's just like the gravity that he has and he takes, it's unreal. Like he comes around a screen, he's just blaring off it faster than anyone. And then he just comes off and you're like, oh, he's making that. And it's just like a dagger every time. And I just hate playing against him. Pascal fouled out in that game because of JJ Redick on a charge, even though that was a bullshit call.
JJ Redick's got this look about him too, that like you look like,
he's a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Like just his face. I'm just like,
it's a Duke thing.
Off the court, you're just a piece of shit.
No, I think he's great. Apparently, I don't know. I like JJ, but I hate JJ. I don't know. It's a big love hate with him.
You'd love him if he's on your team.
100%. Except he's just a complete liability on defense, and but it's hard to exploit. Like the Raptors never really have a great job of exploiting him. Like I only saw Pascal do it like once. He got switched onto him. But I think that's really enough of the game. Like I hated that last shot that Norm got for the win. I was just like, this, would you call up as an ISO? What the fuck? Fred has been cooking all game. Give it to him. Let Kyle shoot for all I care, even though he's not shooting well. Like, what are we doing here? That was.
Do you think his hand's healthy yet?
Huh?
Do you think Kyle's thumb's healthy yet?
I don't think he's healthy. I just don't think he's in like well conditioned. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's regular season ready. I think it's going to be like a couple of weeks, maybe a month for him to get into it until he's ready. Did you watch the Battle of LA? I don't assume that you did.
I didn't catch any of it. No.
Okay, so it was interesting. The Lakers were up big early on, and then the Clippers just shat on them.
Yeah.
And then in the third quarter, the Lakers came back from like Danny Green hit 5 straight threes. I was just like, holy shit. Yeah, and then I was like, this is such a Danny Green experience right now. Cause I'm like, there's times where he can make any shot he takes. You're just like, oh, count it, wet. And then in the fourth quarter, he couldn't buy a bucket for them. And the Clippers ended up winning. It was, I don't know. I just have like a message for all Clippers fans. And this isn't like me being salty at all that you got Kawhi. But anyone, like all Clippers fans, I think you're bandwagoners, honestly. Because
you were Lakers fans not that long ago.
Exactly. Like in your right mind, why would you have been a Clippers fan over the Lakers? Like, and I think that there's so many people that just like hopped over and switched.
You just root for the underdog your whole life. Maybe that was.
I know. Like, I just think that's so weak. Like what I mean is like they're trying to hype up this Battle of LA, and I'm like, yes, on the court, yes, but like in the fan base, it's a Lakers town. It'll always be a Lakers town. There'll be more Lakers fans at their parade if they win than Lakers fans.
Oh yeah. The one thing we can take away from this is that Kawhi got booed.
Yeah.
So we definitely
on a home game.
There's zero reason for us to boo him now. We'll let the Lakers fans do that. I'm like, no animosity towards Kawhi. We can just let the Lakers fans do it for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great.
That's not. It should have been a Lakers home court last night. I don't know. Opening night. Come on. I'm looking forward to Christmas Day though.
The funniest thing I saw last night. Did they play on Christmas? The two of them again?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The funniest thing I saw last night was like the 4 leading scorers on the whole night was it was Fred, Pascal, Kawhi. Danny Green.
Oh.
4 most points on the entire night. I'm like, that's just poetic justice.
Yeah.
It was funny.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It's painful.
It hurts.
It's gonna be a tough year.
It is. Just because, like
it's not even like we're gonna suck. It's just like
you can't win.
No matter how good we do, we could fall into that 4 spot in the East and be like, "Woo, playoffs!" And what's it?
Like I'm at a point where I'm just like, I'm at this point. I'm just like, no, I just want to either be good, we're like good enough to win, or just suck. Like. There's 2 ways to win.
We've been this in between already. We finally made it to the top. I don't want to go back to the middle.
I don't want to be the Pistons.
No.
I don't want to be Detroit. All right, let's move on from basketball. Game 1 of the World Series was night. It was Joe. We spent 30 minutes talking about basketball.
I'm happy. Two games
that went on all last night. Game 1 of the World Series was also on last night.
It was good. Good. My God. I didn't really catch most of it because I was working, but I kind of saw the scoring plays because I pulled them up after it happened. Lit. So much going on so quickly, and then so much going on at the end, and it was just what a battle.
Yeah, I watched from like the 7th inning on.
Yeah.
So like once they're up and like the comeback.
Yeah. Huge win for the Nats because you just beat
massive
Garrett Cole, who's been a guaranteed win for the Astros all offs, and you beat him on the road. And now if you're the Astros, what the hell you do? Because you go back to Verlander. Okay. So you better hope Verlander gets that win or you're fucked.
Yep.
Because you don't have as much confidence going Garrett Cole in game 4 or 5 or whenever you're going to play him now, because it's like, shit, he took a loss. It's like, it's not a guaranteed win, which it was a guaranteed win by far in the Rays series. And he looked shaky against the Yankees, but like still didn't allow any runs. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like it's a huge win for the Nats because it puts them out in front with one more game in Houston and then 3 straight at home. So it's like, if you manage to win tonight, Houston's in trouble, like a lot of trouble.
Yeah, like if you win the first 2 games on the road, that series should basically be over. That's why, like, I'd had it in my mind that the Yankees had won game 2 of the series before,
because they had that.
Exact, because they had and then the Correa home run to walk off. You know my stance on the World Series. Anyone but the Astros. That was my stance. Always, I don't like them, and I think. Do you have anything really to talk about? Anything else from game 1? Because I have another topic on baseball on the Astros still a little.
I think that's it. The Nats bullpen's unreal. Soto's unreal. The Nats bullpen's really not that bad. Like, as much as people are saying it's going to be their Achilles
heel. It's okay. It's fine.
Ulo looks good again. Daniel Hudson's been great. Yeah. Like, I don't hate it. Patrick Corbin coming out of the bullpen looks really good. Why is he out of the bullpen? He's been this hybrid guy that's incredible because he's the only one I've seen so far that's doing a good job of both roles. Like, he's really good out of the pen and he's a great starter and it's working really well. But you don't really need him, right? Like, because you got Scherzer yesterday on, and you can trust Anibal. 10 days rest. You can trust Anibal. So you go Scherzer, Strasburg's a day off. Then there's a day off in between, and then Anibal, and then that's the 4th day for Scherzer after already having 10 days of rest. He's fresh, and he only went 119 pitches.
But you would have thought your $100 million man would have been in your 3. Yeah. But I guess the fact that he's a lefty that can come out of the pen, I think that's more
realistically at this point. Who cares who goes where? If you
just need Anibal to get you like 4 or 5 innings and give up like 2 runs at the most, and you're fine.
Which is hilarious because you almost expect that out of him because of how he's been so far in the postseason. Like, he went 7 2/3 no hit against a Cardinals team this year, but like he's been legit. What did you want to get to though?
The Astros assistant GM being
I don't know how we missed writing that one down, but what an idiot. The whole organization just completely stupid.
Yep.
So if you haven't, do you have the quote in front of you?
I'm pulling it up.
Okay. So if you haven't read it yet, or if you haven't heard it yet and you're listening to this, pull it up because it's kind of a full story, but basically you can.
All right. I got it. So after game 6 of the Yankees series, the assistant GM for the, Houston Astros, Brandon Tubman, apologized. Well, he apologized Tuesday for comments that he made to female reporters, but here are the comments during the celebration on Saturday night. Thank God we got Osuna. I'm so fucking glad we got Osuna. And he was shouting that at multiple times at 2 female reporters watching the celebration. If you've been living under a rock too, Osuna was charged last year with domestic assault, and that's kind of like, it's a bit of a controversy with Osuna. I don't think was he charged?
Maybe he wasn't charged. No. You're right. He went because they never went to trial because they settled out of court.
Well, okay, wait, hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm just trying to.
Or was it mistrial? What the hell was it?
No.
Maybe I should. So.
Yeah. So because the person's refusal to testify, the prosecution withdrew the charge against us in exchange for a peace bond.
So
that he doesn't make contact with the alleged victim.
Peace bond was what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a shaky situation, but regardless, he's still caught up in this thing, and everyone knows Osuna now as the guy that was a part of a domestic assault situation. Let's just say, to say that, so regardless, that happened. Even if he said it, whatever. The Astros come out the next day and they're like, the story that was reported in Sports Illustrated is false. Taken the wrong way. It's not what he said, blah, blah, blah. And they went off saying it didn't happen. They're making up, blah, blah, blah. What a stupid stance to take for starters. Just bonehead. And then the day after, comes sorry for what I said. It was if you're offended by it, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. You just completely contradicted what your organization just said because they just said you didn't say it. And now you're telling everyone it's oh, I'm sorry I said it. It's one of you is an idiot. And I'm going to go with the Astros on this one because that's just bonehead moves.
It's a joke.
It's fucking stupid, man. I don't know.
It's just another reason to hate the Astros, honestly.
Yeah. Yep. When they had that first statement, I understood it a bit because it was they were talking about how he was consoling a player who was down and this and that. And I understand it because I've seen Osuna and he went through that big battle with mental health problems. And even as a J, he was never the most confident kid and he had a lot of issues with it. So I understood he was he was out there to try and help him out. And I get that. That made a lot of sense. But then you contradicted it by saying, yeah, I said it. And I'm you fucking idiot. The quote makes no sense to me either. Because why are you happy about having Osuna after he just blew it for you?
Yeah, I know. It makes absolutely no sense.
No.
That was my main takeaway. I was why are you so happy to have Osuna? Wouldn't it be, I'm so happy I have Altuve?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Osuna blew the game for you.
Yeah. You're just trying to be a dickhead at that point because it's
exactly.
There's no reason to want Osuna after that game. I wouldn't even have him as my closer after that game. You blew it hard.
Yep.
And you're yeah, I'm so glad we have this guy that blew it.
Yep.
Fucking stupid.
All right. Next thing. David Ross, former Cub, named the manager of the Cubs. What's your
I think it's cool. I don't know if he's gonna
I don't doubt that it's not cool. I'm just
it's a good experiment because there's still a lot of guys in that clubhouse that played with David Ross and he was a clubhouse favorite for everywhere he went. And he's a winner. He won in Boston. He won in Chicago. I don't know if he won anywhere before all that, but in my lifetime where I remember watching baseball, I know he won in Boston. I know he won in Chicago and he's loved everywhere he goes by the fans, by the players. Great guy. Do I think he could be a manager? I don't know.
I think he can be a manager. I just don't love the fit just because it's so soon and you're managing a good team that has expectations to win. Yeah. And also
but he's a winner.
I don't love the fact that he's so close to the guys in that clubhouse.
Okay, so you don't like that.
Not really. Just because I think when you're so close to a situation, you can kind of be blinded in ways.
Okay. That's fair. I think it makes them step up a little bit because they're you know what? Yeah, we're playing for a friend of ours. It's not even
sure. I think you can sort this out any type of way.
It could go either way. Yeah,
exactly. You can say, "Oh, I don't like this because of that, because of his prior experience with those players." But then you could say the exactly. Yeah, and it's it's different stroke for different folks kind of thing.
Yeah. He was just such a smart baseball mind, and I think as a catcher, I think catchers are easily the better managers in baseball.
Without a doubt.
They see every part of the game, right? They're in all the meetings. They're in the hitting meetings. They're in the pitching meetings. They do all of it. So they know how everything goes down. So I think as a former catcher, it's a big benefit. He was really good at it. He was never an elite ball player. David Ross is not oh yeah, David Ross. It was just okay, yeah, this clubhouse guy, David Ross, basically brings the team up, does a really good job of that. I think he'll be good for the morale of the team, which I think was an issue at times this year. And because that's a talented team. They don't need to be taught anything realistically. He just needs to know. I think Joe Madden overmanaged that team. Mm-hmm. And if you bring David Ross in, maybe you kind of just let them do their thing, go out there, keep their morale up, keep them ready to go for 162 games, and hopefully give yourself a shot at winning another one. I don't hate it. I like it. But
I think that I would have rather a guy like Joe Girardi personally. I just think that I would have liked that. Huh?
Do you think he wants to come back?
I think so.
He's he seems pretty hard set on being a commentator or an analyst or whatever he wants to call himself. Like he was in is it Fox?
Yeah, I think he's the leader for the Phillies job, right?
Is he?
Yeah. Okay. It's between the Phillies and the Mets for Girardi.
Okay. I didn't know he wanted to come back. He seemed pretty happy just not doing anything.
No, I think he's always wanted to. It was basically last year was just like an off year. He just didn't want to give it right away.
Yeah, makes sense. He's been doing it long enough. Might as well take a break.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you rather be the Mets or the Phillies? Apparently, like Phillies is more likely, I think.
I'd rather be the Phillies. But I don't know.
I think so because they spend money.
Yeah, there's also a lot of question marks with the Mets where it's just like, what's your rotation going to be outside of DeGrom and Syndergaard? Because like our Stroman, I guess, but like Stroman had a rough time in New York. Like he was not good. And am I wrong? I don't think
he was not good.
No. And I mean, like, so you have two starters. You have two incredible starters. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Thor's been up and down, but like he had a really good year. DeGrom is the best starter in the NL. I won't go away from that. Like that guy's fucking gross. He might win another Cy Young this year. And like, that's huge. But outside of that, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like Pete Alonso's incredible. Who else in that lineup? You're like, yeah, all right. That's a big piece.
Jeff McNeil.
Yeah. Jeff McNeil's also like what, to 27? Like he's not young.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Like I like Jeff McNeil. Don't get me wrong. He put up a good year, but it's just kind of like,
they need more firepower in their lineup.
Yeah, the Phillies lineup is disgusting. They just don't have any pitching, and all you got to do is bring in a couple of starters, and you're a really good team.
I think the Phillies could realistically bring in Garrett Cole.
Yep. Have some
but
fun.
I don't know how
bring much that Bumgarner. Why not? If you can throw money at them and they want to come there.
I mean, Arrieta hasn't been great for them. He's been bad. But if you could legitimately get a 1, 2, 3 of Cole,
Nola,
Nola and Bumgarner,
and Arrieta is your 4 guy. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Who cares if he's not?
Now you'd be paying them like a combined like $160 million. Like
you'd be paying them 4 times as what the Rays are paying their entire roster. But
basically, yeah.
So, but if you win it, who cares, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So right now, the Leafs suck.
Oh my God. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because there's moments where I'm like, hell yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is this team? Fire Babcock from a goddamn cannon.
All right, relax.
I hate it, man. Like I was like on the fence about it for 2 years now because it's like, okay, like he does some dumb things. If you're fucking line matching in overtime, you're an idiot. Completely stupid. You go out there. He literally set up overtime to not lose. He didn't.
So I didn't see overtime. So explain to me what happened.
God. So they go to overtime against Columbus, and he has Matthews, Marner, and Riley on the ice. I'm like, cool, great starting lineup. Columbus switches their line. He goes, oh shit, we need to play defense. Throws at Mikheyev, Kapanen, and I don't even know who the D-man was because I was just too angry to pay attention. They didn't get scored on. Great, it's good. We did nothing happened. But why the fuck are you playing defense to start overtime? So now you run those 3 out. Then they went with Marner, Matthews, and Riley, which it looked good. They had a couple scoring chances, and then Marner fucked up on the way back, got a hooking call, gave him the penalty shot. They lost. But my point is, I didn't see, Nylander was easily a top 3 forward that game. He was buzzing. He's been buzzing all year long. And you don't even give him one of your first 2 shifts? I'm like, what? You're not trying to play defense in overtime. You're trying to score. You need to win the game. You don't need to not lose because you suck in shootouts. You need to win. So you need to have your best line out there first.
I don't know, like, because so you basically they go with who'd they go with to start? Because then you could rationalize. In overtime, it's so important to get the puck. Yeah, so that doesn't make sense because who the hell's taking the draw?
Exactly. Like, you're not giving yourself a better chance to win the faceoff. Like, if you're trying to get the puck, like, win it back, get it to your D-man, let the D-man skate a bit, and then while you make the switch to get Marner and Matthews out there, okay, then give me like Goat or give me Spezza or something, like guys that can win faceoffs. Spezza was like third or the second. He was like 9 for 11 in faceoffs. Like, he was having a huge night in the draw, and it's like, okay, throw him out there, get the win, get it to Riley in the back end, flip your forwards, and get going. Don't give me Mikheyev and Kapanen, 2 wingers who don't take faceoffs. It's like, I understand that. Just like, you're just.
I wouldn't even hate putting Freddie the Goat to win the draw.
No, the draw. Because Goat's been good. He wins a lot of faceoffs. And even if he doesn't win that faceoff, he has the legs right now to keep up with guys because he looks like a good skater out there. Yep. Let him play a little bit of defense, let it turn around. But like, I just don't understand the Mikheyev Kapanen. Kapanen's not a great defender. Like, I like the guy, but he's not like, unless you're on the PK and he's buzzing around trying to get to pucks, he's not like the guy you want in your back end last 2 minutes of the game trying to play defense when you're even. I don't understand not trying to start out with, like, you should be buzzing off the start. Because, like, so the stat all game was that Columbus had played 6 straight 1-goal games, and 3 of them they lost in overtime in the first minute of overtime. So you already know this team doesn't start well in overtime. So ambush them, like, give them your best line, go after it, and keep the trend going. Like, they're clearly not ready for overtime when they start. So give them your best. Go score. Stupid. That, and he keeps playing Marincin, and I hate that too because that guy's an absolute pylon. He no idea how to use his lines. I hate that he keeps flipping Marner and Nylander. Like, pick one. I don't hate that part.
I hate it. I hate Marincin. I like putting them together sometimes and then taking them away from each other, just because, like, it's more strategic in some ways. But apparently, so Chris Johnson said on Fan 590 that basically the coaching change, if they basically continue playing like how they are, a coaching change isn't as inevitable as it seems to some.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere, but I think he should. This is just not his team, man. Like, I've never, like, the last 2 years, I'm like, Babcock is an incredible coach. He's a legend. Like, I understand, but he's not the coach for this team. It's not his style of play.
It could be a Dwayne Casey situation.
Yeah, 100%.
And then Sheldon Keefe is the Nick Nurse.
Yep.
Look at that.
I could see it. I want to see if I can find this tweet, but he's great, and I understand it, but it's just not his team for it. I don't like it.
The young guys, like, controlling them. Yeah.
Like the high speed offense too. Like, it's not his style. He wants big guys that are hitting and grinding and all this, and it's not the thing.
Man, I was kind of like the other day, because I was listening to someone now, and they were like, Milan Lucic wouldn't be bad on this team if he was getting paid like $1 million. I was like, sure. You know what? A guy that'll just be on the ice and throw his body around. Sure. Babcock would absolutely love him. Mm-hmm. And, like, honestly, as a fan, I'd be like, cool. There's someone that can legitimately protect guys out there and just be a bus.
Yep.
But at $6 million, I'm not paying him that. But at $1 million, I think that team is actually that's what this team actually needs.
Yep.
In some ways, like, maybe even is Patrick Maroon that much of a hitter? Like, he's a big guy.
He's pretty. Like, he's got the.
I think that I do think that they need, like, a little more grit, but then you could say, like, that if the players themselves bring that out of them, then they'll be fine. I think you need another defenseman, but then you're getting Dermott back, so realistically, that's not as big of a problem. I think you should bring back Sandin from the AHL.
Yeah, I hate it. I found the tweet. So, do you follow Jake Beliefs on Twitter? Jake B. Leafs?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, so he's basically just like a Leafs fan account, but he tweeted, he goes, if you ignore the cup-winning 2009 Penguins, 2010 Blackhawks, 2012 Kings, 2016 Penguins, and 2019 Blues, and also 2019 round winners Boston, the Islanders, and Carolina, there's basically no evidence of stale old coaches being replaced and their team finding success within a year or two. And I'm like, that's exactly the situation the Leafs are in, man. Like, all these good teams have done it, and why aren't we? I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but hoorah.
I don't
know.
Bad.
I don't like it.
I just think so apparently the tough stretch for the Leafs begins now. I'm like, fuck, the tough stretch was already kind of going.
Tough stretch. We're starting to hit the easier.
I know.
We're closing in on the easier part of our, what do you call it? October schedule or November schedule, I guess.
Yeah. Like the Sharks, they score a lot of goals, but they suck. They also let in a bunch.
They've lost to Buffalo twice now.
Yeah. Okay. So much for the Evander Kane revenge game.
Yep. So who do the Leafs have? They have the Sharks, then the Canadians. You know who it is after that, or I'll pull it up.
I got it. So Sharks, Washington. Canadians, Capitals, Flyers, Kings, Golden Knights, Flyers. Right there, though. So, that's 2 games against the Flyers.
Yeah, so San Jose, Washington. Okay, those are going to be 3 tough games. But Philly, LA, Vegas, good, sure. Philly, Chicago, the Rangers,
Islanders.
Yeah. Oh, like even worse. The Bruins, tough game. Pittsburgh. This year's Pittsburgh.
What the fuck kind of back-to-back is that?
Yeah, which one's that? Friday,
Bruins and then Penguins?
I mean, at least you get the worst team on the second half of it.
Yeah, but you got to go to Pittsburgh. You got to travel on a back-to-back. I think the NHL should do something like get rid of that. If you're playing a back-to-back, you should not be traveling.
No, it should be home games both.
Home and home. Yeah.
Or like worst case, it should be like you're in Toronto and then you're in Ottawa. Like you're in something close. It's not like you're taking a 20-minute flight to Ottawa as opposed to like a 4-hour flight somewhere else. Stupid. I hate it.
No, absolutely.
I hate back-to-backs. I don't understand why it's a thing. Like there's so many.
That's one thing I think that the NBA does so much better than the NHL.
Yeah.
Is the schedule.
There's a lot of things they do better than the NHL.
Oh yeah.
As long as we're not talking about Hong Kong. There's a lot of things that the NBA.
But I mean, is that situation done now? Because apparently,
it's not.
No. Apparently, about Hong Kong. Like it was like at 4 a.m. I was on Twitter and it was like, oh, they took out the bill, like the extradition.
Mm-hmm. There were protesters outside of both arenas last night on this Hong Kong thing. Like it's causing an issue with like the fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
There's actually a really funny video. They were doing it was like a Jumbotron thing there was like a dance competition type thing. And they were showing all these kids and this one kid was holding up a Clippers jersey and he's like, yeah. And they show him on the camera and he flips it around and it says like, we stand with Hong Kong or something like that, like something protesty. And like, as soon as the kid flips it around, you can see what this says. The camera just like panics and then like pulls it away and then goes to this other side. And it's just like, shit.
All right. So on this topic still.
Yeah.
So, okay. Hong Kong authorities have withdrawn unpopular extradition bill that sparked months of chaotic protests. So that's done. So I think the situation might.
I don't know. Because the situation with Hong Kong
last night, right?
Yeah. Yep.
A cameraman panned to a child holding up a Clippers shirt.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. When he flipped it around and had the.
I was like, that's great. I was literally watching it as you were talking about it. I just wasn't listening to you.
It's so fun. It's so funny to see the camera just like panic and like move around. Yeah. It's hilarious. Awesome. You can tell he tried to pan, but he panned the wrong way because it's like the side he panned to is just like a wall. He's like, shit, and pulls it back the other way. It's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
What else do we have to talk about today?
I want to bring up Mikko Rantanen quick because they just announced that he's out week to week, and
brutal.
That's tough if you're Colorado, man. Like it might not be as bad as they think. So that's promising, I guess. But like, if he's out any extended period of time, I'm a little concerned if I'm Colorado.
I don't think I'm concerned just because look at their record so far. But
yeah, I mean, they're enough. Yeah. If it's long term, though, that's frightening.
But as a Leafs fan, I'm kind of like, look, Tavares is out also.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah, but they don't have the depth that we have.
Sure, they will.
Yeah. Who, Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that team. Like the prospects they have, the future.
I like that team. I like their jerseys. I like the team. I like the guys on that team. Nate Mack is gross. Did you see his overtime winner against Florida?
No, I didn't. Good.
Oh my God. Just rips this wrister between the legs. It was like two D-men were standing side by side, goes through the legs of both D-men and then just nips top corner. Okay. Just shot, just disgusting. I'm like, okay, kid is gross. I'm like, yep. McKinnon for Hart. Go.
Okay. So Thursday night picks. I think this is pretty fast and simple. The Vikings are taking on the Redskins. Let me check if it's at home or away. But
either way, I think we're both going Vikings, right?
Oh yeah, I think Morrow's taking Washington. No, I'm just kidding.
It seems like a Morrow move. Realistically, though, every time I've gone with or with the Vikings, they lose, and against the Vikings, they win. So I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna end up saying Vikings, and they're gonna lose somehow.
No, they're totally winning. They're at home. Vikings don't lose at home.
Also, I guess we didn't recap any of the Sunday, but like nothing big happened on the Sunday. But that Patriots game, I remember on the last pod, I was like, yeah, the Jets could make it a game. Yeah, shut up, Brant.
I'm seeing ghosts, Brant. I'm seeing ghosts.
How are you pissed off about that if you're the Jets? Like, come on.
Yeah,
like you're mic'd up. Don't say stupid shit like that.
I don't know. I just. What's wrong with being candid? Like you're gonna get made fun of, sure. Yeah. But like
whatever, who cares?
Exactly. Like no shit, he's seeing ghosts. He's not playing well.
No.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Tough game. Oh.
Matt Ryan could be hurt. He could be out a long period of time. Right?
Apparently it's not too serious, but he's gonna miss this week, I think.
Yeah. Mohamed Sanu to the Patriots, second round pick. Emmanuel Sanders to San Francisco.
Yeah, so you're beefing up two offenses that kind of need it right now because
I like this Sanu thing. I think a second round pick is a lot. I thought
he is one of the more consistent.
Exactly.
NFL. Like is he a receiver? Yeah. Either way, he doesn't drop a lot of balls.
No, and it's just like he can be a gadget player because he can throw, but also like
he has a better passer rating than Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's dynamic. Like he's good over the middle, reliable. He's what the Patriots really need. He's good blocking. Like he's just going to be he's probably their number 2 right now because Gordon's injured. He'll be good for them.
Yep. Sanders.
Sanders, another guy for the 49ers. He's not what he was, but he's better than what they have. Yeah,
he's still something. Yeah. He's a guy. Which is what they desperately need because they put up nothing against who they played this week. It was
Washington.
Yeah, put up absolutely nothing, and like that should be a game cakewalking. Yeah. And then last week they didn't look all that fantastic offensively, but you could use a little help.
The more entertaining games on the Cowboys looked good against the Eagles. Oh yeah, Lamar Jackson was awesome against the Seahawks.
That was a really good game. Yeah, that was a good game. Lamar's something special, man. That guy.
Yeah,
they went. It was 4th down on like the 8. It was like 4th and 3, and they're like they pulled the offense off, put the field goal unit off, and John Harbaugh looks at Lamar's like, "You want to go?" He's like, "Hell yeah, give it to me." So they call it timeout, send him out there, and he's just like, "I got this." Doesn't call a run play for anyone else. Doesn't pass it off. Just books it through the line. Breaks 2 tackles, scores a touchdown. I'm like, "You're a man." I love it. He's so much fun.
I don't like I think he's like a combination of like Vic and his running style, but also like Kaepernick and like his throwing, like it's and running, like he's like the in between of both of them. He's not as like his throwing's not as good as either of them, but like his running is just is it Vic good? It's close to it. He's better than Kaepernick. Like he's really dynamic. Whether or not I think he still needs some more weapons, like outside of Brown and Mark Andrews, but
we didn't talk about the hometown A team with the Bills.
Oh yeah, the Bills. What the fuck?
My God. That's the most points they've given up this year, right? Am I wrong on that one?
That's 21.
Like they have not given up a lot of points to decent teams this year, and they play the worst team in the league and they give up 21 points. Yeah, it's the most points they've given up this year.
And they've played the Patriots.
And they've played the Jets, Giants, Bengals, Patriots, Titans before this.
And the Dolphins. Yeah,
you play the Dolphins and give up 21 points. Ouch. Are we concerned as Bills fans?
I don't know.
I'm a little concerned. Our big deal was the defense. Like our defense is supposed to be good.
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is kind of in between year for them. I think they're
at 5-1.
Yeah.
It's a 5-1 in between year. Fair. The only loss came to New England and it was 16-10, and they could have won if Josh Allen didn't get lit up in the middle of the field.
Is that it?
I think so. There's nothing else in the league, is there?
I don't think so. All right. So we'll be back Saturday.
Yep.
This is the A Sports Podcast. See you guys next time. Peace.